Okay, good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me know if you guys can hear my audio and see my screen in the chat box. Just give me a little Y or a yes there. Just let me know that it is indeed working. Hope everybody's having a fantastic morning so far. Trading was awesome last night again, and obviously yesterday's trading was great. So I'm looking forward to seeing if we can snag a banker's close trade today. We'll see what we can come up with, but I'm looking forward to it. Awesome. It looks like we're up and running and good to go. Before we get into any trading or instruction today, I just need to go over our disclaimer. As always, I need to remind you guys about the risks involved in this market. You can lose all or more than your initial investment if you're not careful. So please be aware of how many pips you're risking on each trade, in addition, how big your lot size is, and ultimately how that would affect your account if you were to lose money. Lastly, I'm not a financial advisor. If you're seeking financial advice, I just recommend that you seek out a registered financial advisor. All right, guys. So, so the big thing we need to talk about is news, right? We talked about this yesterday, but let's just kind of take a look at it. So, for the most part, I think most news events came out to expectation. So, interest rates appear to have come out the way to the expectation, which is good. So, as I'm looking for, oh, which by the way, this was fun, wasn't it? That was a good try. We just got out early, but I mean, that's what I felt comfortable doing. But anyway, we'll talk about that trade later. We need to take a banker's close trade if we can. So this is kind of what I was afraid of for the banker's close. And this is why I put that rule in there for the banker's close trade. Even though everything came to expectation, this is a pretty large move on the euro pound. That's a little bit more than usual. That's 115 pips. The only way I'd feel comfortable selling there is if we were coming into a supply demand zone, which you could argue that this is a little bit of one, but I would say honestly, if we're looking at it objectively, the next area of interest is probably this is on a 15-minute chart. You're looking at something like that. And then I would argue that there's a little something up there too. But I just don't like touching these things during news events. And I really feel like that's one of the reasons why we've been successful, is because we've been staying away from this kind of stuff. Yeah, well, I guess if you if you cheat up and use the Sonar Lab, you can see where the order blocks are. You can see there's one right through where I drew one out. Let's see if there's another one. Yeah, they're saying that there's a little one. Basically, there's one here where I drew one out, and a second one here. So, and we're not even to those yet. So, selling this doesn't make sense right now, even though, from your eye will tell you it's a high price, but it's actually not a high price yet. So if anything, I'd be looking to buy, but that's not really a banker's close trade. Minimum it has another 16 pips to go. And then you could be looking at 40 pips, maybe even 50 pips before you get a nice little turnaround in this market. See, this is why, again, that's why I have that rule about news. If there's significant news, I don't want to touch this. Look at this guy. So here's the pound franc. This is even worse. This thing has fallen off a cliff last night. It's 141 pips. And that's due to the news on the pound. And the next area where you might feel some comfort buying would probably be here. These are untapped supply demand zones. And it's not even, those aren't even, I don't know if those are going to even work, but I guess on the 30-minute chart, looks like you're in one here. I don't use the 30-minute chart very often though. But I don't think that's enough. Like this little banker's candle here, I don't think that's enough for me to feel comfortable being a buyer right now, especially through news. So I'm going to say that one's a no-go. The Euro franc, okay, this is interesting. This one hasn't moved nearly as much. And I think part of it's because the franc had its news the longest, a long time ago. I'm a little surprised that it hasn't moved as much because of the euro interest rate though. So, oops, let me go back to that. So maybe we have something here with the euro franc. Let's pull up the Bollinger Bands. Yeah, we're not at a upper Bollinger Band or a lower Bollinger Band yet. So we'd still have to wait with this guy, but let's do take a look here to see if there's something lining up. Um, let's go to a 15-minute chart. This thing is so violent back and forth. Where would this thing stop? It's really kind of hard to say because it's just been in this range for the last 2 weeks. All of December, it's just been in this range here back and forth. But as far as order blocks go, it looks like there's a little something up there. Let's try an hourly chart. It actually looks like we're in a little bit of a sell order block here. And then the next sells are up here. There's some buys down here. So I might feel comfortable with this guy, honestly. I feel like I could stomach this, but I would need to see, here's what I would need to see with this guy in order to take a banker's close trade. I would need to see, you know, an upper or lower Bollinger Band break before I would get in. And technically that's a requirement anyway, right? Like you have to have that anyway. So that's what I would want to see. And then where would my levels be? Let's draw that 15-minute chart again. You know, where would we, you know, if this thing went against us, where would we get some help? Where's help going to come from? Let's see, on the smaller time frame here, let's see. If you're a buyer, you're definitely going to find some help where that block is. And then here, let me go to a 5-minute actually. Yeah, if it came back and retested this area, I would buy. I think I would buy there for sure. And then right here, there's some help. And then below that, where do you find help again? I guess as a last resort, you'll get a little something right there. So, but how far away is all this stuff? So this stuff, if we bought here, that could go 20 pips that way. This one's 60. I don't even think it'd go that far. That's pretty dang far. Yeah, so we could get some help with this, I think. Let's see, if we were to sell, if this thing goes up to that upper Bollinger Band by the end of the hour, where could we sell this? Well, let's see. There's some resistance up here. My concern is if the market wanted to break its resistance, where would we get the next help? And really, if it wanted to break it, there isn't any help until till here to bring that down. So because this is like that concept of the freeway we talked about yesterday. So the markets move freely typically on a freeway, right? You don't want to buy or sell on the freeway because you can get trucked by the market. The market, you can get in front of a train essentially if you're buying or selling on a freeway. But if you're buying or selling in these supply demand areas, you're more likely to get what you're looking for. So so that's what I'm saying is, yeah, it looks like pretty much up here is where supply is. And so we wouldn't get a reversal if this thing wanted to break above this high until, you know, this area up here. And that might be fine because, you know, if we sold here, I could probably stomach a little bit of a move to the upside here. I could probably stomach that. But again, I can't do anything unless the market reaches an upper or lower Bollinger Band. Now I am willing to investigate other pairs. Like here's the Aussie CAD. This thing apparently is coming into a buy block on a 15-minute. Let's see what the 30. Yeah, this is saying that there's something there. Let's see. This is saying there's a lot actually in here. Have we tapped into this? We haven't. So this is interesting. Like maybe this is something that we can work with. Maybe I'm not sold either. I'm not sold with it. It had to disrespect a lot of stuff through here, a lot of confluence in order to get to where it's at, which is not a good sign if you're looking to buy, honestly. But anyway, I'm gonna keep looking at some others. Let's see the CAD Franc. This guy's just not at upper or lower Bollinger Band, so I'll probably leave that one alone. Here's the Franc Yen. This is interesting. Like this guy has a lot of supply up in this area and it's all bunched into the same area. So that's a good sign. Like if you were looking to sell, but look how far that away. That's still 50 pips away. So this is similar to the euro pound and pound franc. Like all of these moves are justified. Like you don't want to call BS on a move like this, especially on the day where there's news, because the move's been justified, right? There's a reason why the market's decided to go this way, and it's not because of price actions that's overextended. It's because of a fundamental in the market that's driving this market. And that's the kind of stuff that ruins price action traders. And that's, again, that's why I'm being a little more cautious today. So if anything, guys, I almost want to like go with the wave. You know, I love the banker's close in terms of going against the market because there's a really good chance you're going to get the move that you've been waiting for. Um, Especially when you don't have news, it's the end of the trading day, you're close to a buy or sell order block. It's a great time to take a reversal on those. But something like this, it almost makes me feel like maybe we should go with the market, which I might do something. But again, if I do something like this, like, see, this looks kind of interesting to me because this guy has so much, it has a ways to go before it actually would hit um, the next stopping point. I think you could have argued that this is kind of a block right there. But it looks like most of the supply is actually all the way up in these areas. That's where most of the supply is. And my guess that's probably where the market wants to go. I might come back to that one. That one's intriguing to me. And again, it's not a banker's close trade. It's just price action trading that we're looking at. Here's the Euro Aussie, huge move to the upside. And again, it's justified due to fundamentals. So I don't know if I would, even though this looks like a nice supply area right here. Let's see if there's order blocks up here. Let's do like a 2 hour. Oops. How about a 3 hour? Is there any blocks? I guess there's a block there. How about a 4 hour? Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. So, and we're coming into it. So, but again, I hate to put myself in front of the train, right? Like, let me get back over to where the market's at. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so I hate to put myself in front of the train here because even though, yeah, we're coming into some supply, you know, the move might be justified for doing so in this area. We'll keep an eye on that one too, but I think today, guys, we need to change our mindset towards like more continuation trades. Like we need to find more continuation opportunities because otherwise I think we're going to get burned. Um, yeah, we could even trade the euro pound and go with the direction or something like that. I don't know if it's just something to think about. Here's the euro yen. It's coming into something there. Um, Yeah, as far as okay, so as far as bankers close goes, I just don't think today's the day to trade the bankers close. Can we still take a trade today? For sure. Yeah, like I'll find something that we can take a trade on. But it's not going to be bankers close. Um, all the conditions need to be met. And that's why I made that little rule PDF for you guys to have because it'll keep you mostly safe. Like if you employ those measures and take the days off when there's a lot of news like today, if there's any day the pound, the euro, the franc has news this entire month, it's today, right? So like this guy looks like it's just going to keep going down until this next block, the pound dollar. Very interesting to see this. Very interesting. Yeah, I think the thing I liked the most was this guy, the franc yen. Um, it just looked like it has a ways to go until it hits some supply. Let me go down to a 15-minute chart and kind of zoom in. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a continuation on this guy. Let me pull this up over here. That's what I'm willing to do. Oh, and this 581 pips I made last night was from this Aussie CAD, which was really fun. So anyway, we'll try to add to that a little bit. And I'm just gonna buy this continuation here. And I know it looks kind of crazy. You're like, why would you buy? It's already so high. Well, this is justified. Like this is not done yet. This move is not done yet. So I'm just gonna take a few of these trades and just kind of casually get in there. Let me grab this on my other account too. I'm not going big, guys. Today's kind of not one of those days I want you to really go big, but sure, let's add to our stack a little bit. I think that could be fun. Awesome. Okay, and then where would I want to get out on these? Let me grab just a few more there. And it's all based on where this stuff is up here. And you can see on multiple time frames, like the 15-minute chart shows that there's some blocks up there. It's showing the price at where those blocks are is right here. And then on the 30-minute, it's saying that right here is a good spot to basically take our profits. And then on the hourly, it's about the same. So that would be the next area to take profits. Sorry, guys. There we go. That would be the next area to really consider taking profits. And that's going to be far away. That is far away. We'll probably be out before then, but what was that price again? So I can do it over here. 148,639. 148,639. Here, let me do this. 148,63. Well, that's basically where our targets are, but I'm going to pull these in just a little bit. Today, yeah, today is one of those days where if you were, in my opinion, it's days like today, if you trade the banker's close in the traditional sense of the banker's close, it's like walking in front of a train. You're going to have like a drawdown that's just going to, it's just going to be so big you can't, like you really just can't recover. It's very hard to recover from. But with this trade too, like I do want to manage my risk on this. Let's see, where would I be willing to get out on this trade? Like for a loss. So I've determined where I want my profits to be. But if we're going to lose on this trade, where would I lose? Well, the thing is, I would like to give this little supply area some space. So I'm going to give this a little bit of room, this stop loss, because I probably would add a little bit more to the trade if it hit this area, because that's kind of a buy block. Let's see if that actually shows up on a lower time frame. Yeah, not yet. It's not showing up there yet, but nonetheless, yeah, down here it's showing that that's a buy block, but I just don't see the market taking a significant turn to the downside here unless it hits these blocks up here. I could be wrong. I just don't see the market going stopping here and coming down. I just don't know if there's enough reason in the past to stop the market from coming down where it is right now. I just don't know if I see that. So that's why I think a continuation is probably going to come along. If anything, if the market were to pull back, and this we'd stop out before then. I'd rather be out of this trade than try to tango with it at that point. But if anything, this market would pull back to this area and then continue back to this supply, right? If anything. So That's the little trade. That's the trade I'm going to take today. That's honestly the best thing I can come up with right now because, um, yeah, basically in a sense, we don't want to put ourselves in front of the market. Like if I were to sell this guy right now, um, there's a good chance that this thing's just going to keep ripping and roaring. And that's a lot of drawdown to endure if you're just going to sell. So I'd rather just play the continuation today on this guy. Um, and yeah, it's you know, normally, I guess normally you'd be if this were a banker's close trade, we'd be selling, not buying, right? But today's just not a good day for that. Um, so anyway, I hope that makes sense what I'm kind of teaching there. Um, the whole concept of getting that reversal and reconciling positions and margin calls takes place when price action is normal. But today price action is not normal, it's abnormal. And so we have to adjust our trading to whatever the market's giving us, right? All right, guys. So let's talk about the real fun trade. To the money, the real money was made last night on that Aussie CAD, right? We absolutely crushed it last night. And that is the most exciting part of our trading day. So last night, here's the trade. Let me pull up the Telegram here. So here's the trade setup. Let me pull this over. Here's the trade setup. So last night I was coming into Aussie CAD. I was looking for a nut trade opportunity. I had to be a little cautious, with what we traded because guys, there's a lot of news. Like it was hard. I was talking to, another trader last night and we were like, okay, well, what do we trade? Well, I don't know what we're going to trade because it's like, well, everything's got news. And so we did find this, and I'm really glad we found this. This did not have news. The Aussie Cat is one of the few pairs that did not. And let's talk about the reasons why this was a good trade and why we took it. So when initially here, let's go to an interactive chart so that we can kind of go over the details behind this. Okay. So the reason why I liked this last night when the market was sitting right here was a couple of things. First of all, the market made a new high. So, and it had higher lows and higher highs for a time, right? It was in an uptrend, obviously, right? But it appears that it was slipping away. Like the market was starting to slip away from this. Like, so we made a new low right here. This low is technically lower than this low, right? And then what kind of really led us on is the fact that this high is lower than the previous high. And then um, um, it tried to make another high right here. And then it did not breach the previous high. And so that's kind of your signal to say, oh, hey, we're starting to make more lows here. We're starting to go the other direction from what we were doing previously. Now, and it happened again right here, and then it just started slipping away. And then when I came into this market last night, this low had already breached this low right here. So I was like, whoa, we really are making lower lows and lower highs. This is really starting to flip the tables. We're switching directions on this trade. Absolutely. And then I did my own analysis. I looked for order blocks up here. I found an order block right here that I liked. So I felt like that would be a good target if we were to sell. So I knew there was more room in this trade to go. I had no clue it was going to go this far. I think I made about $2,200 or $2,300 on this trade. But I could have made $10,000, right? But you don't know. You don't know which ones are going to do that. And I could have lost a lot of money too had the market come to my original take profit and maybe gone against me. Could have lost a lot of money too. But so I guess you can't really complain. You just do what you know how to do, right? And then learn from it. Um, and can't complain. It's still very, very good trade overnight, 30, 40 pip move right here that we were able to capture. But so I did my own little analysis. looking for highs, looking for lows. There's no news. And let's see what else is he looking at. We don't need the Bollinger Bands for this. We don't use Bollinger Bands for this type of trading. Just plain chart, just a naked chart is all you need to kind of figure stuff out. So I knew the market was kind of flipping directions. I saw a lot of other pairs related to the Aussie that were also flipping directions. The CAD was also flipping directions as well. So I knew that that was going to be something. And then the last thing that I did was is I pulled up the order blocks, right? I kind of cheat up a little bit. And then when I was on here, at the time, there was several blocks up here. There was this guy right here. And then I think if you go to a 15-minute, yeah, on the 15-minute, it was just stating that there was just a lot of selling pressure up here. I guess there was more selling pressure here about the same time we got in last night. And then let's see, is there any other charts with that? I think even the 3-hour. Yeah, for like the 3-hour last night was stating that there was a nice sell order right here, and the market just never got back to it. It just never could. And real quick thing, this is going to lead you on to so many good trades. If the market ever comes to an order block and hangs out and just stays up there, run away. Run away. Like, don't look for a reversal if the market just hangs out at an order block. Okay. If the market taps into an order block like this and gets rejected and tries again and still gets rejected, well, a reversal is probably coming. It's probably coming, right? But yeah, if you get markets that hang out at order blocks, guys, just run away. Like, just don't even mess with it. Just run away. Look for a different trade. Yeah, we've talked about that in the past. I've been burned. And the reason why I know this is because I've lost enough money on those types of things where I'm like, okay, well, I can't keep doing that. I need to figure out what I need to be looking for, and that's it. You want to find pure rejections at order blocks. That's what you want to see. Okay, so I knew this was going to be a good area to target just because this was there was a news event that caused this the other day, that huge move to the upside. And so this was the last kind of area that caused that great move to the upside. So I knew I wanted to be out of most of my trades or all of my trades by the time it got to here. And that's exactly what we did. So I just put my take profit right there. Pretty conservative take profit, but I wanted to be conservative because of all this news and all this other stuff going on. I wanted to just ensure that we made money last night. And I think we did a pretty dang good job with this trade. And then, yep, it just got pummeled, right? Like it actually went from the time we sold right here, it went a maximum of 116 pips in our favor. And yeah, we only took 30. Like, I will say we only took 30, but that's what I feel comfortable with. And I think that's all you got to do is just take what you're comfortable with. Maybe it would have been smart to leave a trade or two to ride a little bit to see if we could get down to this order block down here that we're now tapping into on an hourly. But I didn't know. I didn't know it was going to do that. And then you look at the 2-hour, same thing. Like, there's nice order block down here that we're tapping into for the first time. And then let's see, how about a 3-hour? Yeah. And then what's cool is when the higher the time frame you go up, the more significant those blocks become, right? So on a 3-hour, you can tell this is the only seller block in sight, and we were pretty close to it. So I knew that the market had some selling pressure nearby, and the fact that every time it made a high, that high was lower than the previous high. Like, to me, that was just all the signal I needed to be like, yeah, this market is done. It's done. It's over, right? It's just coming down. And then I just chose a smaller time frame order block, like a 15-minute or something. It doesn't appear anymore because the market's pierced through it. But I think at the time last night, there were some order blocks in here. They're not visible now because the market's just pierced right through it. Okay. And so that's the way the indicator works. If the market pierces through an order block completely, like this one did, it disappears. And it'll only show the ones that haven't been pierced through completely, right? So anyway, that's why I targeted there. And yeah, it was a great little trade. Like on this account, I ended up making 581 pips on it, just on that trade. That's the only trade I took last night. So it was super awesome. All right, guys. And then I think that's pretty much all we need to discuss there. The other trade I was considering taking was this guy on the Aussie dollar, but I just thought if we're shorting the Aussie CAD and then this guy looks like a sell too, there's really no reason to sell both because we already know, we already have a pretty good idea. Like, since we're already going to sell the Aussie CAD, there's no need to really sell the Aussie dollar. And the same thing, this guy was basically doing the same thing last night. I was thinking about putting a short right there, stop loss something like this, and then target basically to this next area right here. Oh yeah, that's the line I drew out last night. That's where I was thinking of a target. But yeah, again, I just like, I don't think we need to take this trade in addition because it's basically the same exact trade, right? So I'd rather just put my risk in one currency pair. One of the problems that you run into with trading multiple currency pairs of the same correlation is you just get over leveraged. So I've had a lot of nights in the past where I've traded where I see a lot of setups that look really good on cross pairs that are like currency pairs that are family. So anything with the Aussie is family with the Aussie, right? And so since all the Aussies were lining up in a way that we liked, if we had traded all of them, you could probably just get over leveraged because if the trade works out, it's like nice to be over leveraged because you make all this money, but if you lose, you could stand to lose a lot of money. And if you're on an FTMO account or some other account like that, you could get suspended and you could lose your trading privileges and it's just not fun, right? So for me, I'm just kind of like, okay, if I'm trading a correlated pair, I'd rather just take one trade or a cluster of trades on one pair to the risk that I'm willing to take, if that makes sense. You just don't want to get over leveraged on multiple pairs. I've done that so many times. It's not worth it. So this one looked good last night. I'm trying to find another one that looked good. I think pretty much anything Aussie looked good for a short. Almost anything Aussie looked pretty good. And yeah, they all had a lot of order blocks up here. They were making lower lows and lower highs. It just looked really good. And we're done with it. So now we move on to the next thing, right? And so right now, again, I'm in that Frank Yen trade, very small position, right? Like I don't want to give up a lot of my profits on this trade because it is down right now. Let's go back and take a look at it. Like I'm trying to be extremely cautious with my approach today, because it's just not normal, right? So again, with this guy, I'm just looking for a continuation higher, a continuation of this market. And I do feel good about this. I really do. Even though it's not a banker's close trade. But let me put it this way. I've traded the banker's close every day for I can't even remember how long. And so I have a lot of experience with the banker's close and the way that I trade it. And so that's why I feel very comfortable putting a big lot size on the banker's close, because I have so much practice with it. But since I don't trade it through news, there can't be news 12 hours ago, and there can't be news coming in the next 12 hours because anyway, the market acts really weird. If obviously if news happened recently, that one makes sense. But even if there's news coming in the next 12 hours, the markets just act super weird. It's just so weird how they react. So that's why I'm being cautious with so much of the market and taking a banker's close trade. But again, this guy, I think I think this market's going to try to get to this order block up here before it's done. And so that's what I'm hanging out for. That's all I'm hanging out for. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's really not much else to do. Let's take a look at, I'm just curious to see what the euro pound's doing. Yeah, it's basically just continuing up to its order blocks as well up here. And the euro franc, let's see, has it hit an upper Bollinger Band yet? No, not yet. So it's still kind of in a no man's land. And then the pound franc, our other pair that we like to trade, again, it's just still down. It hasn't really reversed yet. I don't know if it will. Yeah, I hate to buy that guy. I really do. With news, no, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch that. That for all we know, this guy could just keep going down. And if that kind of stuff happens when the market's having a normal day, that's a bargain. Buy the bargain. Like that's a discount price. Go ahead and buy that. That's normal price action. This thing is not going to stay down here long if it's a normal day. But since it's not, like, and again, I've said this so many times, but I added that rule because of days like today. That is exactly why that rule is in there. Okay. And it will protect you. So I know it's frustrating because sometimes you're like, well, I want to make money. I want to make a lot more money today, or like I know the feeling. Like let's say you missed out on the trade from last night, on that Aussie CAD. Let's say you missed that, or maybe you missed the banker's close yesterday. And so I know the feeling that where you're like, man, I need to get this. I need to get more. Wait till tomorrow. Wait till tomorrow. It's the like best thing you can do. Wait till the systems and the opportunity, the environment that we need is exactly what we need. Because if the environment's there, then all green lights, baby. Let's go. Let's put on those trades. Let's put on those lot sizes, put on many contracts. Let's get the money made. Let's go to the weekend, right? Like that's what we're looking for. So that's that. Anyway, that's how I would look at it if I were you. Okay, so I'll probably I just don't have a lot to talk about right now, just because we're not in a banker's close. We really don't have much to talk about. And we already talked about our trade from last night. So let's do this. Let's do a couple things. So I'll recap this trade, and then let's look at the news for tomorrow because there are some news events tomorrow. And then let me tell you my schedule going for the rest of the year, and then we'll wrap up. We'll wrap up a little early today. So today, the rest of the news, there's nothing. So we're good for the rest of the day, but I'm still staying away from the euro, the pound, and the franc for the next probably 8 hours. I'm staying away from those. Okay. Just got to follow the rules, right? Tomorrow there is some euro news that could be some significant. You've got PMI coming out tomorrow, basically for the euro and the pound, and then same thing with the dollar. We'll see how the market is affected by this. These are going to happen earlier in the night, so I might push the envelope a little bit on this, depending on how the market reacts to this news, right? If it's not a huge deal, we'll probably go ahead and trade the pound, the euro, and the franc. Okay, Monday. Okay, so we will do tomorrow's class, but I just need to let you guys know now. Monday, I'm not going to be hosting the Banker's Close. I have a family thing that I'm doing Monday morning, just because the holidays are starting to kick in a little bit more. Anyway, I can't do Monday. Let's just put it that way. But you can still trade the Banker's Close on your own if you want to. There's nothing wrong. In fact, Monday should be a great day to trade the Banker's Close. So feel free to go ahead and jump in there and do that on Monday. Monday, just be aware you do have the yen's rate statement on Monday. So that evening, we won't be trading anything with the yen. We won't be looking for order blocks on the yen on Monday. Tuesday is a clean day. That's a great day. Again, great day for the bankers close. It's going to be a wonderful trading day. Plus, a lot of people don't like to trade the bankers close during December, or no, excuse me. A lot of people just don't trade in December. Sometimes, guys, December is my best month. Like it's weird. Like sometimes having low volatility for me on stuff that I am like certain about, and having that low volatility on the banker's close, it's a beautiful thing. So, days like this in December where, hey, there's not a lot of news, there's nothing going on, people are starting to pack up shop. Sometimes those are the best bankers close trades. So yeah, Tuesday will definitely be trading bankers close without any issues. Wednesday, you just have CAD inflation, so we'll just be aware of that. Thursday, great day for the bankers close, right? Nothing really to be. The only thing that could hurt us is if we were trading the dollar, which we probably won't trade the dollar anyway. But if unemployment claims come out way higher than expected, that could be a problem. But Friday, yeah, anyway, yeah, we'll do Friday. And then we won't do the Monday after Christmas. So the next day, Monday, everything's closed. The whole world is closed on that Monday. And then it might be kind of hard to do a banker's close on Tuesday here on the 27th. Here's why. Because the London market closes at 10 o'clock that day. Even though the US market is open, it's still a holiday in London, and so there won't be trading that day. So we might not get a banker's close on so I think I'm going to cancel Monday the 26th and the 27th, Tuesday, and then we'll go ahead and trade the bankers close on the 28th, 29th, and probably the 30th. Yeah. So we'll have 3 days on that week between New Year's and Christmas. Those are the days we'll do it. Just check the calendar. I'll update this today. Like I'll get this all updated so you guys can decide what you want, what you can and can't come to. And then yeah, we won't do any trading on Monday because everything's closed on January 2nd. So like for the next 2 or 3 Mondays in a row, there won't be any Monday trades. Maybe some evening trades, but not during the banker's close though. And then exciting times, right? Like 2023, let's go, right? January 3rd, I can't wait. Like I'd love the holidays. Don't get me wrong. I love the holidays, a good time. But I can't wait for January 3rd. I can't. I'm just excited for, smooth sailing. Let's go. Price action, baby. Let's get the right trades that we want. January 3rd. That's gonna be awesome. I can't even wait for it. New year, new everything. Let's go. But yeah, so that's good. Anyway, I just wanted to make you guys, I'll update the calendar so you guys know what we're going to be doing. I'll have it finalized by tonight. In fact, I'll do it as soon as we're done. I'll have the calendar updated. So just make sure that if you're thinking about coming to the class, a class, make sure there's a class actually posted on there. If there's a class posted, then we're doing it. If not, then we're not doing it, right? So all right, guys. So that's good. And then let's go back to this trade. This trade's just hanging out. It was down more, but now it's up a little bit, which is good. We'll see what it decides to do here. Again, I'm just going to hang on to this throughout the afternoon or morning, seeing if we can get this thing to break up a little bit more. I think it will. We just got to be patient. Okay. So we'll be patient with this guy. Let this guy do its thing. And yeah, I'm really happy with what we've been doing. Obviously, a really great Aussie CAD trade last night, and then I'm really happy that we're following our rules. Like that is so important to have the grit and the determination to follow rules, because that's what helps you stay in business. Okay. All right, guys. Really appreciate your attendance. Thank you for coming. I'll get this recording up as soon as it's rendered, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for coming.